Irrespective of your years of experience of practicing outside the UK as a healthcare professional or as a nurse to be specific, when you come or migrate into the UK, you are starting at band 5. So that is the first level of band for the nurses. That is after qualifying or after getting your PIN. This has become a worry for most overseas nurses. Um, People are very keen on career progression. People have been asking how fast they can progress because it's I wouldn't say it's sad, but it's worrying after practicing for 5 years, 4 years, or even 10 years, and then you come into the UK and you are starting at band 5. This has been a dilemma for most people. However, there are other people that also have just a year of experience or have just started as newly qualified nurses in the UK and are very ambitious and therefore want to progress with their profession. This is the right video for you. We are going to look at the fastest and the easiest way to become a band 6 or to progress as a nurse. Stay with me right here and we'll delve into it after the breather. Yeah, so basically, it takes between averagely it takes like 18 months for you to become a band 6 from band 5 to a band 6, but this isn't always the case as it is relative. People have progressed very early and very at a very fast pace. So it is something that is doable, especially when it happens that you've qualified and you have lots of experience before migrating into the UK. There are some key things that I would want us to touch on or have a look at, and that is going to help you in your journey or in your progression. First of all, you have to know there are two things or two main categories in progressing within the nursing fraternity. That is, we have progression through we have a clinical progression or progression through the clinical route, and progression through the managerial route. So you can either become a band 6 um, as a clinician, or you become a band 6 as a manager, or become a band 7 as a manager, or band 6 as a clinician, or through the clinical route, or let me say a specialist. So you have to have this at the back of your mind. The other key thing is that there are things that you have to identify. That is what is going to help you to know whether you are actually ready for progression or not, as progression isn't for everybody or isn't for anybody at all. You might have found one or two people on your ward or in your hospital where you work that have been band 5 for 20 years, for 25 years, and you're still band 5. It isn't that there isn't any progression for them, but they don't probably want to take any additional responsibility and they feel comfortable working at band 5. So you have to know yourself and don't blame them. I don't blame them at all, but do not let them become a hindrance or a source of discouragement for you by seeing that somebody on your ward has practiced for 10 years or 5 years and still band 5. No, it doesn't work that way. You can progress as fast as you can. So these are some of the things to look out for. This is what is going to tell you whether you are actually ready for a higher position or higher band or not. One, if it happens that most of the time your colleagues on the ward do consult you or seek for your advice on certain things, most especially on clinical matters or making clinical decisions, then it means you are getting there. You'll be able to chaperone, you'll be able to supervise, you'll be able to mentor others. Therefore, you can now decide to take a bolder step to move ahead. Two, if it happens that most of the things of the world you are being called upon, you are being asked to do that, you are being given the toughest tasks on the ward, you are being asked to manage the most difficult patients on the ward, then it means you have that qualities, you have that skills. People might not tell you directly, but these are some of the things that your manager, your line managers, the ward sisters, the charge nurses, the matrons will be looking out for. So when you realize that anytime there's a difficult patient on the ward, you are the one being called upon to, take care of them or be their allocated carer for the day, then you know that you are getting there. That is another thing. So these are some of the things again you could do to help you become a band 6 like this. So one, of course, as we all know, is for you to be initiative. We want people to be very initiative. Don't be dull. Don't be always waiting for orders or instructions before you take a clinical decision or make a bold step. You have to take initiative. You have to take charge of the shift. You have to stop panicking. Okay, if you have to show that you are ambitious and you can actually lead a shift, yeah, so you have to show, you have to see that quality in you. Also, you have to do lots of training. I know we are here for the money, yeah, but Charlie, most of the overseas nurses work 5 days, 6 days in a week and don't have time for trainings. There are trainings everywhere. Do not look down upon the e-learnings you have on your company website or your trust website. The mandatory trainings, please always make sure they're up to date. Also, there are trainings you can get outside your organization, like the HEE website, the Health Education England website. There are a lot of trainings that you can get there as a clinician, as a nurse, that will boost your confidence and also increase your knowledge or broaden your knowledge base as a nurse. Also, you have to put yourself up to task. Okay, you have to be approachable. You have to be forthcoming when there are issues and they're asking for ideas on the word, or they're asking for recommendations and all that. You have to be able to contribute. Your quota, you have to speak up. It isn't always be like you are quiet and you are so laid back. You can't be a leader who is very so laid back. Also, you have to build up networks. Talk to people on your ward, be friendly, be approachable, people on the other wards, even people from other companies, people from overseas nurses and alike, people from other trusts. You have to be networking. It's not always about homework, sleep, homework, sleep, homework, sleep. No, you have to get interactive, link it in, share WhatsApp contacts, join WhatsApp groups for nurses and like-minded people. Be sharing ideas. You have to build up networks. You have to attend forums. I know almost all of us are joining unions like Unison, like RCN. You subscribe with Nursing Times. Keep up to date. You will be reading news. Charlie, you are in UK. You're always watching Ejako and Kweku Menu and Dr. Like. No, Charlie, spend some time reading the Nursing Times, Nursing RCNI, news bulletin about nursing and all that, current changes. See, even on the NMC website is not only for your CBT and your OSCE. There's always news, new clinical research and all things coming up. Always on Instagram, watching Blue Snap, Charlie, watching how people have already made it in life, flaunting their riches. It doesn't add anything knowledge-wise to your scope of practice. So use that time. If you watch a little movie, you watch those entertainment news and other stuff, focus on the health news as well and keep updated. You have to keep updated, keep yourself updated. I said attend webinars and all events, job fairs organized by Nursing Times, organized by RCN, and other health outlets, just to broaden your knowledge base on the on nursing. Also, most importantly, take your supervisions very, very serious. Supervisions and appraisals with your line manager. Always seek for supervision. Don't wait for your supervisor or line manager to come to you. Always don't wait till there's a problem before you go for supervisions. At least once a month, you can go for supervision, talk about your career development, areas that you think you need help and support with. Discuss with your line manager. Probably nursing fields or things that you are interested in. As I said, discuss it. I'm saying all these things to channel or draw your attention to the fact that in as much as you are making money or doing a lot of shifts, you have to think about career progression. if you really want to make money quick, you have to progress in your career, invest in yourself, invest in the training, trust me. Because as a band 6 or a band 7, if you do overtime, you get more than a band 5 anyway. So the money you make in 2 days is what probably a band 5 will get in 3 or 4 days. That's just what I'm saying. So yes, if you progress and invest in yourself and in your career and all that, and get to the top, you earn much more. And I wouldn't say the job is a bit easier, but excuse my language, you are far away from the donkey jobs. You don't do them anymore. All right, now let's look at some positions that are classified as band 6 automatically. As I indicated, there are two routes. You can either go the clinical route or go the managerial route. Some people naturally are not managers, they can manage people. Okay, however, they have interest in progressing. So if you want to progress, you can still go get a higher band, but still clinical, because you're very good, you are clinically good. Okay, you are good on the ward, you are good in doing stuff, you are good in patient care, so you can still do that and still progress and get a higher band. As I said, don't let the people who have spent 5 6 years, 20 years, 25 years at band 5 discourage you. They are there because they want to be there. Okay, you can progress very quickly. So band 6, senior staff nurse, team leader, junior nurse, practice nurse, community nurse, triage nurse, all of these people are band 6. As I said, you can go through the specialist route. So if it happens that you find yourself being interested in working in a particular clinical setting, so for instance, you are on an adult ward, probably you are on a medical ward. However, when you realize that most of the time when you are picking a bank shift or picking an extra shift, you enjoy working at the A&E, or you enjoy working at the IT or ICU, then you can do your supervisions and all that and do courses available in your trust and other places. You specialize in that. You can specialize to become an ITU nurse or ICU nurse, okay, or in A&E, emergency nursing. Provided you get the qualification and you work for some few months, automatically you become band 6. Your band changes. Okay, or if it happens that you realize you have interest, okay, in taking care of special conditions, or have interest in a special disease condition like hypertension, like diabetes, like oncology, cancer and all that, yeah, so you focus on those ones. You can become a diabetic nurse, and public health nurse and all that. You realize, and automatically this also changes your band. You don't become a band 5. So these are if you want to go to the clinic, specialist or clinical route, this is where you have to look at. Again, for general nurses, let me give you this let me give you this hot point. If it happens that you are a general nurse and you can pick up a role in a mental health hospital to work as a practice nurse. So basically what practice nurses do is that they do all the physical health observations, they take blood, so venipuncture, they do ECGs, they book GP appointments for the mental health patients and all that. So you don't serve bed pans, you don't serve commodes, you don't treat pressure sores and bed sores because they are not bedridden. Okay, they can do most of the stuff themselves, and automatically most of them are band 6. Yeah, so if I practice nurse working in a mental health setting, full time, you can earn 32, 33,000, 34 and above, depending on your work pattern. And if you want to do part time, which is almost just 2 days, so the 2 days, that's part time, you can earn around 27, 28, some places 26,000 per annum. And the 2 days is either you work 2 long days or you work 9 to 5 for 2 days, and that's it. You don't do a lot of the, in quotes, dirty jobs. All you do is just the bloods, observe their physical ops, which is like once a week and all that, book GP appointments and all that, and you are gone. For those who are natural leaders and want to go for the managerial roles, you can target charge nurses or ward sister, deputy ward manager, even senior staff nurses. They are all that is the managerial role up to a ward manager. Yeah, so these are the 2 routes. These are the clinical route and these the managerial route. So they are all band 6. You can engage in secondment. When secondment opportunities come up, it's a good opportunity for you to show your potential, exhibit your skills, and go for it. If you see any position for interview, go for it. If you fail the first interview, go for the second interview. If you fail for the second interview, go for the third interview. That's not the end of the world. Keep going till you get what you want. Do not be despaired. Do not get despair do not be despair when you just fail one interview. And as I say, anyone who is here and is interested in picking up a band 6 position or band 7 position, I'm happy to help. Just link up through my WhatsApp or the Telegram page. Facebook, you can DM me. On Instagram, you can DM me. Even in Snap, you can DM. I'm happy to help. I can take you through the band 6 questions or even band 7 questions. I can give you that one-to-one support, coaching, and mentorship that you need to progress. I'm happy with that. If you see any job, whatever you want to go for it. Okay. Occupational health, public health nurses, district nurses, school nurses, health visitors, they are all band 6, band 7 roles depending on your experience. So they are all ways of you moving from the band 5. Okay. Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting when you are a band 6 or a band 7. There's this high self-esteem, there's this fulfillment. You are able to effect change positively. You are included. I mean, you get involved in decision making, and it feels good. It feels good, and on top of it, the pay is good as well. There are a lot of opportunities for you as well in the near future. So yeah, I wish this video was informative, and as I always say, kindly like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so that anytime there's an upload of a new video, you'll be among the first people to be notified. And thank you so much for the love and support since day one. I would just want to end it here. And as I said, my doors are always open. I'll put the link to my Telegram channel in the description box below. And then a Facebook page as well. Go and like it. Thank you very much. See you next time. Bye.